Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I'm sharing a little something different with you. That here is this was a very old first attempt into mixed media, and I'm kind of showing you a couple pages that I had done previously. And so I just wanted to do a little playing this weekend. So this was based off of a video from my local scrapbook store, which is Memory Bound Papercraft Store, and I will link their channel down below. I'm also going to try and link up the specific video where Katie basically walked through how she played around with her Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I think that's what it was. I don't have the watercolor pencils, but I do have some other watercolors that I thought I would try and play around with. And so basically the concept is to draw the squiggle lines and basically create all these different compartments to color in. And so what I'm doing here, well, I drew the lines loosely and then I went back over them to make them a little bit darker. And then the next step is to go in if you want to. You don't have to. She showed different examples on the video of how you could kind of give a little curve to each of your little sections. So there I'm showing you up close. Um, I'm using that paper towel there because I kept rubbing my hand in the ink and it was smudging my inks. So here I'm prepping the watercolors that I have. It is just a palette from Prima, and then I also decided to use some of my spray inks as well and just dipped my paintbrush directly into the bottle. And then here a little bit later I actually used the nozzle just to dip it directly onto my page. I tried a couple different techniques, and really this is just kind of to play around with my product, see what works. I haven't really done a lot of watercoloring, and so I did learn from this that I was using, at least in the hard cake palette, or yeah, the paint palettes where that's like a hard cake, and I added the water to it, that I had too much water and was getting too much water on my paintbrush. And so some of the colors on the earlier ones were too wet, and so they did bleed into each other. Um, so that's one tip, is to maybe use less water or less watery product. So I'll probably give this a try again. I also was not using watercolor paper. This was actually just a regular book that you would buy at a bookstore. And I went through and altered it and added gesso and over the regular pages, and I would glue several of them together to make the page more sturdy. So, some of the results may be because of the gesso or because it wasn't actually watercolor paper. So, but really, uh, I do have some close-up photos, and I can probably go back and clean it up that I didn't have time before I um, took the final photos of my project. But if I do get pictures added to the, taken, if I get them cleaned up, that maybe I'll try and add some pictures before I load it to Instagram for once I post the video. So be on the lookout for that to see if I clean up the lines, or I might just, try and clean it up later once I, try this little experiment again. So at some point I do lose. I thought I was recording and I wasn't while I was working on the purple section here. Purple and pink. So it pretty much jumps here to the finished product. You can see I did add several different colors. I did have a couple different areas bleed together, but overall I thought it was a pretty fun project just to have some fun. So give it a try and check out the links below. And thanks for stopping by.